All right, we've got Mike Petersen here. Mike, if you just want to start with your thoughts on the game, and then we'll move on to questions.
When you make shots, this game's not very hard. And we made a lot of shots. We did a great job of creating open shots tonight. Other players did a fabulous job. And then they just relaxed and made shots. And these shots were like marginally better than the ones we've been missing, but we just knocked them down. And Odyssey just had a tremendous, tremendous day, right? Just great energy on defense, great energy on offense, found the open player. And when we can get downhill, it does two things. One, it sends us to the line. And two, it creates open shots. And our players did a great job of getting downhill tonight.
First question's from Spencer Nussbaum. Go ahead, Spencer.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Spencer.
I was wondering if you could talk about the defense a little bit. What was it about today's game plan that you felt the team executed best in terms of the defense?
Okay, all of it, but okay. I told the team after the game, I'm so proud of the New York game and this game, because both of those games, the defensive game plan was put in on film and a walkthrough. And the defensive game plan a lot of moving parts, right? When are you going to go trap the post? When are you going to trap Tina? When are you going to come on Hines Allen when she gets in her bag down there? We guarded ball screens with several different coverages. Okay, they lit us a little bit early on those horns ball screens, so we had to change. The players did a fabulous job. So I just think credit goes to our players for being able to focus and execute what we ask them to do, because I mean, it's easy for me to sit in the apartment, think things up. Anybody can do that. It's about the players being focused and being committed and being able to execute. And I just thought they did a very nice job tonight. I mean, that's got to be Tina's worst game of the year, right? I mean, she's 5 for 17, has 13 points, and she was averaging 25. So, and she's a great player. We were very fortunate to be able to contain her, and it took our whole group to do it.
Emmanuel Blaze, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, great win. One big thing that I saw today was that after the first quarter, you get your team to settle down, and they was able to settle down and do some things after that first. What was your message to them to keep them focused and have a good run through the second through the fourth quarter?
Yeah, so partially it was, I love the shots we're getting. Just relax and make them. That was a lot of it, frankly, okay? And then we had a couple of 50-50 balls that we didn't get to. And I don't do this very often, but we had a little aggressive counseling in one of those timeouts about our effort to loose balls. And it helped, okay? It helped. Our energy from that point forward was just phenomenal. And again, this team plays hard. You know, I had to remind them a little bit about how hard they needed to play, and they did a great job.
Brandon Sudge, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I mean, I know obviously some of this is a product of the schedule that y'all had, but how important is this win this afternoon to do it such in dominating fashion after those losses in Minnesota and then against Seattle?
In the words of Epi Calvin Nuke Lelouch, I like winning. It's like better than losing. But it was huge. I mean, our players knew they were playing hard, okay? And our players knew that with the exception of the second Minnesota game, that they were playing hard. But you can, as a coach, you can only tell them that so many times, and you need a win to validate it, okay? That's just human nature, okay? People need something good to happen to keep them going, right? And so this was really big. And again, like you said, part of it was the schedule. I mean, Minnesota is about unbeatable at home, and Seattle's just about unbeatable, frankly. And so the schedule was hard. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be trying to win. And we were trying to win, but you know, we hadn't had a drink of water in a long time. We were getting a little thirsty.
Rafi Blusen, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, when you guys were losing early in the game, like, what did you tell your players in regards to regain their composure to lead to the blowout win?
Mostly just relax on offense. Like, I love the shots we were getting early, right? When they had that lead early, I absolutely loved the shots we were getting. Now we had a couple turnovers, okay? And that's no good, right? But the shots we were getting were great shots. And one of the things you've got to do as a coach, I believe, okay? If you start deciding whether a shot's good or bad based on whether it goes in or not, you're hard to play for. It confuses your players. And so I've just almost never done that. I try to evaluate our shots. Are they on time? Are they in context? Are they in rhythm? Are they the shot that player can make? Okay. And I thought we were doing that. And so again, other than talking about the rebounding and loose balls, I was mostly an encourager during that time. And it's what I want to do. I want to be an encourager. And so it's nice when you can be an encourager and your players respond. That it makes my job super easy.
We'll go back to Spencer Nussbaum for the last question. Go ahead, Spencer.
Sure. What was it about today's game that really allowed, multiple guards to really succeed at the same time? Because it seems like the past few games, it's either been, one of Odyssey or one of Tip or one of Courtney, but all three stepped up today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, okay, was we just got into a really nice rhythm offensively. I thought we made tremendous reads in our ball screens, okay, where the ball needed to go, when to attack. We were also very aggressive in our ball screens, okay. We got downhill. Our bigs did a super nice job of rolling hard. I mean, if you don't roll hard, it doesn't force them to adjust, right? But our bigs rolled hard, so they had to tag the screener with somebody, and then we could find the backside or we could find the roller. And so I just thought, we were a little discombobulated against Seattle, and I thought we were really combobulated tonight. You know what I mean? We had a nice rhythm going.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach. Congrats.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. All right, we've got Odyssey Sims here. If you have a question for her, raise your hand. I'll call on you. Spencer Nussbaum, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Odyssey. Congrats on the phenomenal performance today. I wanted to, I know it was obviously a great offensive game, but I wanted to start off asking about defense. Your help defense was really on another level today. Can you just talk about the work you've been putting in practice that's really gotten you to this level and how that helped the team out today?
I'm a defensive-minded player. This is it's not a surprise what I can do on the defensive end. Been in the league 8 years. I've always guarded the best player with every team I've been on. So it's just another habit. It's fun, especially when you can help a teammate get steals, runouts, points off turnovers. So that's what we've been capitalizing off of, and we just want to continue to build on it.
Emmanuel Blaze, go ahead.
Yeah, I see coming out, you got 20 points and 4 steals. You had an aggressive mindset to look like today. What was your mindset to start this game off and to get this team on the right track?
We've been in a little drought, a little loser streak. So we we played a little earlier today. I felt like our energy was good when we started, and really just wanted to get the win. Didn't really matter how much we won by, but we, like I said, we stayed with it. We built on the lead, kept building, and we had energy throughout the entire game. We didn't let their runs dictate or take away from our energy, and we continued to feed off of each other.
Jamila Johnson, go ahead.
Hey, Odyssey, congrats on the win. I'm sorry, it's really kind of hard to hear. So you had 4 steals today, and the crowd seemed to be into it every single time you stole the ball, every single time you guys forced a turnover. What was it like having that crowd participation and having that crowd being loud for you guys?
I mean, anytime we have the crowd, especially engaged, super engaged, it helps us a lot. We encourage each other, of course. We feed off of each other with our energy. But when we have the crowd to add on to that, that makes us go even a little bit harder. I think you've seen that today. Just like I said, the little plays, getting steals, points off turnovers. We had multiple players stealing the ball. We had some threes in transition. We shot the ball very well from the 3-point line. So like I said, we're still learning, we're still building, continuing to get better and learn each other every game.
Brandon Sudge, go ahead.
Hey, Odyssey, following up on your response about the team kind of getting itself back on the right track here. In the second half, I saw that after y'all's makes, y'all were smiling and laughing as y'all continue to build it on there. I mean, as a team, how much of a relief and excitement is it to come back with a win after that losing spell?
It's fun to watch my teammates score. I mean, I felt like we were just on a streak, a little hot streak from the 3-point line where we just couldn't miss. It's fun to be a part of, and it's also fun to watch. Of course, we were smiling. We were out there having fun. You see a team having fun and enjoying it today. Of course, everything is better when you're winning. But we just like I said, we're going to continue to build. And we had a lot of fun today. Hopefully, when we play again on Thursday and the next few games to come, we can continue to build and grow off this game.
Last couple of questions here. We'll go to Edwin Powell. Go ahead.
Congrats on the win, Odyssey. You guys, 2 games against Minnesota, 2 games against Seattle, 2 games against Washington. Are you kind of in favor? Do you like playing teams back to back like this, or would you kind of like to have it mixed up a little bit?
I mean, it's for our safety, because of COVID and the pandemic. So I have no comment on it.
And last question, Spencer Nussbaum. Go ahead.
Yeah, building off of Brandon's question from before, I saw that Kennedy was in your face after the game, hyping you up. What did she say to you, and what is the energy in the locker room looking like right now?
She just kept encouraging me throughout the game, even before the game, just giving me the support I needed. It's always good when you have the support from your teammates as well as your coaches. So she just kept talking to me, just being in my ear and telling me to stay aggressive and just keep playing. I played for you today. She complimented me and she was happy for me. So just ready for her to get back.
All right. Thanks so much, O.
Thank you.
All right. We've got Tianna Hawkins here. If you have a question for her, raise your hand. I'll call on you. Emmanuel Glaze, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Tianna, just great win by you guys today. But the one thing that I did notice is that inside, y'all took it amongst yourself to go against Tina and hold her to 13 points. What was your mindset knowing that she was coming in the game, that y'all had to play well to slow her down?
Well, we knew that Tina is having an awesome season, MVP season. So our main focus was to go in and try to make her night or day 11 house.
Spencer Nussbaum, go ahead.
Yeah, congrats on the win, obviously. I wanted to start off with probably the most obvious question. What was it like doing this against your old team? And did you have any sort of, inside secrets for Atlanta tonight?
Of course, I had an inside secret of the system. But of course, with the personnel they have, you saw some different wrinkles that coaches added. But I mean, it felt great being out there. It felt weird playing against them, but that's just the game of basketball.
Brandon Sudge, go ahead.
Hey, Tianna, can you speak on the significance of being able to win this game in such dominating fashion after having the spell of losses over the last week or so?
I mean, it was a big game for us. It was the most important game because it's the game that we had today. But I think we came together, after that small streak of losses, and we regrouped and was able to get our offense going and to make things hard on defense.
Edwin Powell, go ahead.
Congrats on the win, Tianna. Just looking back on, kind of the 4-game slide, finally getting off of that and the win today, what would you say, what's the difference that you guys were able to do today that you weren't able to do the last 4 games?
I think one of the main things was to get stops. I think our team defense were really good at some points in the game. Another thing is when you make shots, the score goes up. So I think that was a good thing. You know, everyone was focused on holding their follow throughs and just creating good shots for our teammates.
We'll go back to Spencer Nussbaum. Go ahead, Spencer.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure I can tell right now. I mean, it's great for you to have that outside shot falling. It helps the team. It you know, clearly helps you. There was that kind of colder stretch towards the start of the season. How did you turn that around? Because it seemed like a really, you know, sharp change from the start of the season.
I think for me, it just goes back to the work that I put in. It's just trusting the process. I know that this off season, going into training camp, going into our practices, you know, my focus has been on shooting, you know, shooting the ball and consistently shooting it every day. And just knowing that I'm putting in the time and I'm putting in the work. Once I saw one fall, like I knew it was gonna fall eventually. It feels good to, you know, to see that first one finally fall. So the biggest thing for me is just trusting the process and just knowing that I'm capable of shooting the 3-ball. So keep on shooting it.
And last questions from Emmanuel Glaze. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Just tell us after, you know, going back to that question after the slide, to get that win tonight, how's the locker room today, and how does it feel to go home and get ready for your next game and win with that win that y'all got today?
The locker room was amazing. It was a big win. Because Washington, they're a great team. We knew what we had in front of us. We built some great momentum. We just got some business to take care of when we see them in DC next week or this week coming.
All right. Thanks so much, T.
All right, thank you.